Okay, good morning, Coach. It's all yours.
All righty. Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday to everybody. Really exciting time for our team. The opportunity to go play the game we love. It's been a great 6 weeks of work, 2 weeks of OTAs, now the fourth week of actual training camp. I've really appreciated our kids' toughness, their discipline, and how together they've been through this entire process. And now we get to reap the reward of getting to go play. And we're very thankful and we're very grateful for that opportunity because we know the amount of work that is put in to be able to get to this point. Now it's time to go put the ball down, and to get to go put the ball down on a national stage right off the bat is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be really exciting. Anticipating some wet weather, it looks like we're going to get a little front that blows in, so going to try to simulate that over the next couple of days. We started that yesterday, and we'll do that for the next couple of days and see how it goes. But it does look like we're going to get some rain Saturday morning. Which will be a little bit different for us. But our kids are in a great place. They've had a great week of practice, and looking forward to just seeing the reality of where we are and going to play a good Arizona State team. So with that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Okay, Keely, you're first up.
Hey, Clay, I was just wondering if we could get just an injury update of where you guys stand right now.
Yeah. Is there any particular guys that you're thinking about? I'll try to run through off my brain. Yeah, Vavai is doing well. He's practiced all week. He will be available for the game. Sticking and running back Marquise Stepp will be available for the game. He's looked really good this week. Drake Jackson has practiced all week. He is ready to go. Anybody else that you're thinking about?
Kanai Malga?
Yeah, Kanai is full go. He's actually had a great week of practice and is ready to go.
Okay, Mark Culkin.
Good morning. So, Coach, I'm sure your heart skipped a beat when you saw Cal had a positive test. Was there a quick message you shot off to the team reminding them?
It's been a daily message, Mark. I'll be honest with you, and I'm proud of our guys. Like I said, that's part of the toughness and discipline and being together and united in this. It's a part of the world right now, and it's something that we have to try to be as consistent as humanly possible. And our kids have done an amazing job since we've left March 15th of trying to do everything right. And the message to them, and it really was at the start of the week, because I knew the excitement that they had for this week is, guys, we made it to this point. Now don't get comfortable. Don't get relaxed. We've seen what has gone on across the country, and some are to no fault of anybody, but you got to try as hard as you can to be able to put yourself in safe situations, and a lot of it comes down to decision making, to be honest with you. And so making the great decisions of wearing a mask, staying socially distanced, don't put yourself in an atmosphere that gives you a chance to get it, and not only hurts you individually but can hurt your team. That's going to be part of this thing. We got 7 weeks, and for us to build an adequate resume, we need all 7 weeks. And so, we've gotten to Thursday of week 1, and I'm saying prayers every night that we stay healthy, we stay safe, and we continue to move forward.
Okay, let's go to Ryan Karchi.
Morning, Clay.
Morning, bud.
Can you just take us through what the morning routine will be like on Saturday? When guys are kind of expected to be up, what they're doing, when they're testing, all of that sort of strange stuff you wouldn't maybe normally do.
Yeah, so we are actually went through the process last week. I didn't want them to not do anything that they hadn't done prior. So last week, we did stay in the hotel to be able to give them that format. They got used to having their own room, which they're thrilled about, being able to have their own space to sleep in. They got used to being able to acquire their individual meal and eat in their room. The days of the team meals are over and done with right now, so they got used to that. They got used to a little bit of earlier curfew, 9:30, me tucking them in and turning the lights out, and then getting up that next morning, which was a 5:45 wake up call for them. Down for our meeting. They got a knock at the door, got their bag of breakfast, room serviced right there. They ate a quick breakfast, 6:30. They were downstairs, ready for their meetings, bringing their personal items down, and then getting on the bus and arriving at the stadium at 7 a.m. And at that point in time, it wasn't daylight savings yet. It was the last day before daylight savings, so the sun was rising over the torch, over the peristyle, and it was as pretty as I've ever seen. And I thought the kids brought great energy, Ryan. To be honest with you, and there was an excitement about it, and I'm glad that we went through that process because it is different. It is a different process, but they handled it extremely well, and we look forward to doing it again this Saturday.
From your perspective, what's going to be the strangest element of that lead up to the game?
Just how quick it gets on you. Usually you wake up and it's kind of a relaxed atmosphere. You have breakfast, then you have a pregame meal, you have meetings, possible walkthroughs in the big ballrooms or going outside. And that's not the case in this time. I mean, you wake up, you get a cup of coffee, and you're headed to the stadium. And so the sense of urgency for our kids to be able to put themselves in position to go perform is probably the biggest challenge. And it's something that we've done the last three weekends is scrimmaging in the mornings and getting up in the mornings on Saturday so they can get acclimated. I tell you, the other important thing that we talked about this week was just getting their body acclimated to going to bed early. 18 to 21-year-olds are the best of going to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and so, we challenged our guys, not starting last night, to really get your body acclimated to that 10 o'clock bedtime. Wednesday probably will be hard. Thursday a little bit easier. Friday hopefully easy. But that's going to be the biggest challenge, is making sure you get to bed and get that 8 hours prior to going to perform.
Okay, Adam Grossbart.
Clay, given the absence of fans in the stadium, what is the message to some of the guys who are going to be on the sideline for most of the game about providing energy to the team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's ultra important. You're going to have to bring your own energy. You're going to have to bring your own juice as a team. And some of the greatest ways to bring energy is the celebration of a great play, and those twos and those threes and the guys that are injured. Those are great roles in those areas to be able to provide energy, and as well as our coaching staff. The one shining light in this thing, Adam, I'll be honest with you, is it is going to be different, and we have done it the last 3 weeks. It is different. I do think I'm very appreciative. It does help with the ambient crowd noise and the game day music and the things that go on from a marketing perspective. It does make it feel more like it. It really does. And usually you're focused on things on the field, but that ambient noise and that marketing does help. But I am glad that we took the initiative to go the last 3 weekends to get them comfortable with it, and to be able to bring their own energy when things are good. When you make a mistake, it's about communication, and when you do things right, celebrate together.
And just out of curiosity, like when you say simulate wet game set, like a wet day, like is that sprinklers? Is that the hose? Are you hosing down the field before practice?
No, I'm not messing up our field, but just the buckets of wet balls that you have just to be able to pitch and catch, be able to catch balls without gloves, snapping balls. Our specialists yesterday worked, holding, catching punch, things like that. Just to be able to take the gloves off and be able to use your hands, because obviously you put a pair of gloves on and it's raining pretty good. It's slip and slide out there. So we're just doing wet ball drills over the next couple of days.
Okay, let's go to shotgun.
Clay, are there any positions that you want to get some, I guess, non-fatigue related rotation in week one?
Yeah, we actually talked about that as a staff, shotgun, this week about have an opportunity of being able to see guys, and you're going to see a lot of guys in special teams in those areas also that may or may not be starters also. So I anticipate a lot of guys on this team playing. The one thing that is different for us, I'll be honest with you, is it is only a 7-game season. You're not looking at the possibility of 12 games and then going in postseason. This is a shortened season, and where these first 6 mean a lot. So your mindset changes a little bit as far as reps, but as us going into it, I do see us playing a lot of guys, especially on teams.
Any particular positions, and maybe a guy that I kind of had in mind is, where does Isaac Taylor Stewart kind of fit in on the defense? Is he going to be part of a 3-man rotation, or has he got some work to do to get in that mix?
No, I foresee him helping out. I do. I think OG and Chris have had terrific camps. You got to remember, ITS is coming off a pretty significant knee injury, and is doing well with it. Has had a good camp. Right now, he's slotted in that next position, and we'll see how the game goes and how the game flows. But I like where ITS is. I think he's really gained confidence, which was really needed over these last 6 weeks. And I think as we continue through the season, that confidence will grow. But he's in a position to help us. I think it'll be more about how the game is flowing and what Dante wants to do there.
Okay, Antonio.
Clay, you've seen Craig Niver and Todd Orlando in practice for 3 weeks now. Can you describe what their energy level or their attitudes been like in that time?
Yeah, if you could bottle it and sell it, I'd be a very rich person. They do a tremendous job of being consistent. I would say, Antonio, of being the same guys every day. And that defensive staff, even Vic and Dante, they bring great energy, great juice, great knowledge to the game. Each one of them do what I think great coaches do, is they provide the energy, but when it's time to communicate, they slow it down for the kids and have conversations. It's not just yelling, screaming. It's, hey, hold on, let's just let me take you through this. Let me show you what you're doing wrong, and let me explain how to do it right. And I think that's a big thing when you're talking about being an educator. Yes, football is a game of passion. It's a game of energy. But what I've been thoroughly impressed is the ability for them to flip the switch and have football conversations within a practice to help guys improve. And it's a mark of a good coach, and that defensive staff I've been thoroughly impressed with over the last 6 weeks.
Okay, Brian Kirchie, another question?
Clay, you guys have such strange circumstances for this game, not even just the 9 a.m., but even just the fact that you haven't played in so long. How have you guys tried to, I guess, drill into guys about early mistakes and just kind of about keeping your composure, especially when it's been so long since they've played in a game with such high stakes? Yeah,
Ryan, it's probably your biggest fear as a coach, especially dealing with young people. It's just you do drill work for 6 weeks, and we've had the advantage of being able to watch other games through September and October, and it hasn't really been people really beating others. It's been teams that have beat themselves early, through mistakes and through whether it's a missed assignment, whether it's a penalty, whether it's turnovers. Those unforced errors have really led to losses in close games. And one of the things that you're seeing across the country, I think, Ryan, right now is how competitive the games are because you're within conference. Right off the bat, there's no non-conference games. It's every week just watching these games. It's been really entertaining and exciting having watched, but you really see how important the team that makes a fewer mistakes are winning early. It's not the other team just flat out beating them. It's the team that out executes and doesn't make the mistakes. So, yes, we've been harping on it all camp. We've been working it all camp through our drill work, and then you say a prayer and hold your breath and say, man, I hope it carries over to Saturdays with a bunch of young people. The one good thing that we do have is, Ryan, I'll say, I feel in this camp and going into the season is just a lot more veteran leadership and kids that have played ball now. There was a lot of kids on last year's team that was their first experience, and now you look up and you've got a real veteran squad, so hopefully that will help us going into Saturday.
Shotgun, you have another question?
Yeah. One of the things you guys have struggled with in the past has been, quarterbacks that kind of extend the plays. Is there anything that Todd Orlando's done to specifically focus on that to help with those, those situations where the quarterback gets outside the pocket?
Yeah, so we've actually we visited on yesterday. We study the quarterback and his escape path because I think each quarterback has a unique way that he tries to escape, whether it's laterally, whether it's to his throwing hand, whether he's a kid that stays disciplined and stepping up in the pocket and trying to escape vertically through vertical pass rush lanes. Is he a kid that once his eyes come down, do they ever come back up? Do they ever come back up to throw the ball? What's the tendency there? Or is once his eyes come down, is he a runner? Is he a guy that slides? Is he a guy that when he's close to the numbers or outside, does he escort himself out of bounds or does he fight for extra yards? Those are things that we study and we communicate to our players, especially with Jaden. Jaden is one of the kids that have done a really good job of being able to extend plays and being able to move the chains with his legs. And one of the clips that we actually showed that we've actually seen is if you remember last year versus Washington State, they're in a close ball game with about 30 seconds left, shotgun, and he takes off running. He's usually a kid that slides or gets out of bounds, and he knows he's in a competitive situation, and he throws himself into the end zone, actually going through two kids. So he is dangerous. He can win games with his legs, and not to go through the schematics of what we're doing, but yes, T.O. does have some schematical things that he does for athletic quarterbacks that will be used on Saturday. But a lot of times it's about who that kid is and what his natural escape path is.
And just, is there anybody that, we haven't really asked about that, obviously since we can't watch camp, that, that we should be keeping an eye on Saturday?
I'm looking forward to watching, some of the young people that you haven't seen, how a Brew McCoy comes out and plays. I think Gary Bryan and Josh Jackson at providing us depth there at the receiver position, being able to watch them play. Defensively, I cannot wait. I'll tell you the one I can't wait to see play. I'm expecting big things from EA. He has just had an amazing 6 weeks. I can't wait to see his progression under TO. It's one of the more exciting things I'm looking forward to watching is to see his progression. I'm looking forward to seeing how our personnel, which I think is married up really good with this system, shotgun, how it looks in actual game situations. And I'm looking forward to watching Talanoa. I'll be honest with you, because this system, just watching it in practice, has provided him the opportunity to make such amazing plays in this camp. I mean, he's had pick sixes, he's had caused turnovers, he's all over the place, so I'm looking forward to be able to watch not only guys that may be coming new on the scene, but guys that I think are really going to thrive in this new defensive system.
Okay, Eric McKinney.
Coach, going back to no fans in the stands, it seems like there's the obvious, third and fourth down on defense. Are there any sort of hidden areas where not having that affects things? And then I'm curious too, have you seen or do you expect to see sort of any effect on that idea of home field advantage or maybe visiting teams getting a benefit from not having fans this year?
Well, the one thing with the noise, it's pretty consistent, Eric. I think the level is you can't go higher than 75 decibels, and it fluctuates up and down. There are situations that they're allowed to raise the level. Usually it's around, I think, 50 decibels, but on a big play or a sack, they do raise it up a little bit. You still get the noises you normally hear during a game, whether it's a third down dong, the bell ringing. So you get that feel, which makes it more normal. The quietness when we went the first time, that was a little bit eerie. And then we were able to bring marketing in the next couple of times. The fans, the people not in the stands, was not as big as I thought it was going to be. Because as a player and as a coach, you're so focused on what's happening on the field that wasn't as big a deal as just not having noise. That was a little bit eerie the first time around.
Okay, we'll take one final question. Ryan Karchi.
Clay, I know you mentioned that you won't be able to have like a full team meeting or do walkthroughs beforehand, but are you able to actually address the whole team as head coach, like before the game, or how does that work?
Yeah, so Ryan, our team meetings have been just like this. So we're able to right now, because of not having kids on campus, we're able to use the majority of the JMC to spread out in different meeting rooms on all levels. But we do not have team meetings that are all together. They are all via Zoom, just because of because of LA County, you only have, based on square footage, you're only allowed so many people in a room, and there is no room that we can have an entire team in. So all our team meetings are via this. I do address the team. I do address the team at the end of a practice. I can address them, being spaced out appropriately. But as far as team meetings, no, we have not had one that we've had the entire team together.
But that's the same for like game day. There's no difference.
Yes.
With that. Okay.
Yeah, no difference. Yeah, we will not all together be in a meeting room. It's separated offensively and defensively. Specialists. This has been a scattered year, and being apart, but we've tried to make the most of it with our engagement of our players as hard as we can.
Are you able to have like any sort of pregame tradition, or is that sort of idea just kind of out the window this year?
No, I'll be honest with you. It's even to the point, Ryan, that and it's hard, but it's necessary. That we're actually using even our dressing rooms. We have part of our team dressing at JMC and part of our team dressing at the Coliseum, because of the square footage in the locker room. So it's extremely different, but we're doing everything that we can to provide the safest atmosphere and our kids, and that's why I keep on going back. I'm just so proud of them, from their toughness, their discipline, how they've dealt with adversity, different situations, how our kids have handled it. To get dressed over at the JMC and then ride a bus over, and while the other half of the team is in the locker room, that's different, and it's a different feel. But at the end of the day, we're just thankful and grateful that we're getting the opportunity to play this Saturday, because that didn't seem possible, 2 months ago.
Okay, Clay, thank you for joining us. Just a couple quick notes to the media. We'll have Clay and a couple players after the game on Zoom at this same link. So save this link and tune in there. We'll also provide a link for Arizona State's post-game Zoom. We'll post those in our media center. Clay will also join us Sunday night at 6 p.m. As we have in the past. And a reminder just to the media, with the rain coming, right now we do plan to have the windows in the press box open, and we do plan to have some media in an auxiliary area on the roof, which is partially exposed. So please plan accordingly to that. We're trying to do the best we can to accommodate as many people as possible and do so in a very safe manner for all of you. So with that, we look forward to seeing you bright and early Saturday morning. And again, Clay, thanks for joining us.
All righty, guys, stay safe. If you're up top, bring a jacket. It gets cool up there. It's going to be cold and wet on Saturday. So I'll see y'all Saturday. Bye now.